Hello, Reds from all around the world. Welcome to All for United. I'm your host, Joe O'Neill, and I'm absolutely delighted to be welcoming you here for this preview show. It's supposed to be Wall of Reds, but it's not much of a wall. It's hard anyway, but it's more of like the wall in front inside your front garden. It's not exactly the wall of China. It won't keep the Mongols out, but it'll keep the dog from coming in and taking a shit on your front road. Anyway, so that's something. So wherever you're watching in the world, please get into the comments. Please like the video. Please spread it around, spread the love, and get as many eyes on this as possible. Jamie's already in here. Jamie's always great to have you in here. Good evening to you too. I presume that is evening. Is a good evening. I'm not sure. I don't understand the English lingo. It has been a while since I think it's been a while since I've been on. I feel like it's forever ago. What day is it? Is it Friday? Yeah, I think it's like a week and a half. This is the longest I've ever gone. Evening, chaps. Thanks so much, Fred. Great to have you as well. The whole heap of you watching, so please put a like in this video. Please spread the video around, like I was just saying. And we will be discussing Manchester United's upcoming Premier League game, the first game back from the international break, where we will not discuss any international football. Thank you, Jamie. For feck's sake, it's already after coming in. Ireland will always be in a bar. Give me a second, okay? Give me a second, all right? I know, all right? The international break is over. I can go back to being miserable for my club instead of just for my country, okay? The likelihood is now that Aaron Connolly is going to score on Sunday since he's been cleared fit. So he'll doubly make you miserable. So that is what's definitely going to happen. But yeah, Ireland will always be an embarrassment. Thank you, Shiv. Appreciate it. I appreciate it as always. But thanks for getting your comments in so far. Please give a like to the video. I know, okay, Luxembourg, I know, all right? But Germany lost to Macedonia. So, come on. More like top of the... Where is this coming from? What have I done to deserve this? Casual xenophobia, is it? Or casual racism, whichever one. Anyway, I am offended. But yeah, we're going to go to... Sorry. No, you didn't. Sorry, Joe. You did not have to say it. You did not have to say it, Jim, whatsoever. I believe you said it already on a video a while back.
I think you thought that you were going to go, oh, yeah, he's got a fair point there.
No, he does. Well, I'm more dismayed by the whole fact that I unfortunately support the most lovable but shittest country in the world when it comes to football. Everyone wants us to do well because we're great crack, but we always flatter to deceive. We go to a tournament and it's great crack, and then aside from that, it's misery. But hey, that's all I got. So thanks, Shiv. Please get comments in related to Man United. John O'Shea, he's Irish to Man United. It's the last good thing that happened to us to relate it to both. So if you want to send that in, please do. And there's a whole heap of you guys, like I said, like the video, but we were discussing Man United's upcoming game against Brighton. We've had 2 weeks off. The lads have. I don't know how many people have actually played in those 2 weeks. It was mostly friends. And to be honest, there was no big games, even for our big players. Everything was pretty much a walkover. So I don't think anyone's coming back with real fatigue or real anything. So, which is good. And Fred, no, I don't. No, we don't need Ireland. That's the last thing I'm saying on it. The last thing should be happening is Roy Keane managing Ireland ever. And Fred, no. That's the last thing I'm talking about Ireland for, okay? It makes me cry. So Mark, coming to you now. We're, like we said, we have Brighton on Sunday. We've had 2 weeks off. What are you anticipating? A lot of energy or slow, tedious, or are you hoping, praying more so than anything else that we start actually come out of the blocks all guns firing?
You know me. Took the words out of my mouth. I've not watched much international break either, so I'm glad we're not doing any summary on that, to be honest with you. The last time we came back from an international break, we were very, very good, and we went on a very long run of not conceding, winning most of our games. So I'm really hoping that they've had a good rest. I don't think too many of our players really played. Van der Beek made an appearance. Daniel James made an appearance, scored a goal. And that's pretty much it, give or take. So I really hope that they've had a bit of time to get some rest. That was a big thing, wasn't it, before the break? We'd had numerous conversations about the fact that they just looked really fatigued. So they, last international break, they needed more game time. They got that. We were very good. This international break, they needed a bit of a break. So hopefully they've got that. And listen, Brighton are a very good team to watch, but they'll probably play into our hands a little bit than other teams, and by that I mean that they're quite an attacking team. They play some good football, and I think that will play into our hands a bit more. That's something that we can cope with and accommodate much better. So hopefully all goes well. We will be able to start on the front foot. We will get an early goal and we'll win 3 or 4-0.
Wow. Positivity from Mark Biggs. You should keep that haircut. It seems to bring out the best in you. In case anyone noticed, Marcus hadn't got a haircut. The best comment will be shown out on what you think of it. You can also make fun of Stuart's hair as well. Everyone else is kind of safe. You can make fun of my hair if you want, but I think I'm a bronze medalist here.
I haven't had my hair cut. You're taking the piss out of my hair because it's not been cut. That's the problem.
Oh, sorry. That's the one.
I've actually lost all my beard. So I'm actually going with that, and that's probably why it looks a lot different.
Okay, so we're blaming the lack of hair on your face, which was cut off. So therefore, you did get your hair cut.
Yes.
Okay, so technically, thank you. Okay,
but you are
Mark, you need to bring your A game if you're going to take on the big dog. Okay, woof woof. All right. So Andrew, going to you now. The guys have had mostly 2 weeks off. No one's really strained. We've got no injury concerns. Should this? Fuck off, Tammy. But always punch through the screen. Only you have that power, bro. But good to have you in the comments. Get your thoughts in. Joe, your hair is just as bad as. Oh, come on. That there's some bells that can't be unrung here. But Andrew, we've had 2.5 weeks off. What are you expecting from the guys on Sunday?
So we need to see a response from United. I mean, we've had 2 weeks to stew over that FA Cup loss to Leicester, and it just left us fighting on, one front for silverware, which is the Europa League, but we still have a lot of hard work to do in the league. I mean, so we've had back-to-back wins in the league against City and West Ham. We're now 9 without defeating the competition, but it's a big month coming up and into the business end of the season because we're playing the likes of Liverpool, Leicester, Leeds as well. So though we can't catch City anymore, we're going to have to be the best of the rest, and we can put a more stronghold on second position on Sunday with a win against Brighton. And with City playing Leicester, so hopefully Leicester will drop some points so we can just pull away from them as well. I mean, like Mark said, Brighton are a good team. They play intelligent attacking football, and one of the keys is going to be the midfield. It's just who Solskjaer decides to play in the midfield, whether it's going to be McTominay and Fred. If it is, Brighton might find some joy in getting past our midfield, whereas if he plays Pogba in that pivot, that could be to our advantage. But Brighton will prove a tough team. I mean, they're only 6 points above relegation. They've pulled away a little bit, but you can't underestimate them. And all the 4 defeats we've had in the league this season have come at home. So we've just got to be on our guard. I mean, the players they've been on international break. Most of them have only played 1 game. I think Bruno only played 1, Shaw did, and Rashford only went to the England squad but never played and came back. So just need to just kick on now and just secure that second place and progress in the Europa League even further.
Yeah, absolutely. Who did we lost? Mark. Oh, he's gone to get another haircut. Got to get his haircut again. Terrible. All the hair puns. So Jeff, I'll come to you now. Were you next in line anyway? Oh, sure, you're here now anyway. But Jeff, what are you hoping for? As we were just discussing there, I actually forgot that Rashford had 2 weeks off, which is absolutely phenomenal for him because he needs a break more than anyone. I think he's been involved in every game we've played so far, bar 1. I think he's had 1 game where he wasn't injured, but I think he was just rested. I can't remember who that was against. So I can't remember who it was, but it was a recent enough game. So are you expecting, we tend to do better when our players are relaxed and ready to go for it. Looking when we came back from the break. Sorry, who's back? You back from your hissy fit?
Yeah. I'm having a few problems with my internet last couple of weeks. I really need to call them up. Pain in the ass.
Yeah, that's no problem. If anyone's watching that can help Mark with his internet, just DM him. I guess I'm going to Vin now. Jeff, you've been demoted because Mark has returned. With the same question, how are you expecting a fully fit Rashford, and are we expecting more from him for the rest of the season?
So Rashford didn't play during the international break, 2 solid weeks off, but I still feel he won't start against Brighton. I just got a feeling that Ole would want to keep him sort of protected. He might feature against Granada, so and then feature against Spurs and then from then on. But I just feel that he won't start against Brighton. But on the whole, otherwise, I think we've had a good international break. If you look at it from our players' point of view, Donny had a good international break. He got a goal. Dan James scored in the header for Wales, which was a class goal. I watched that. Maguire had a good game. Bruno and Pogba had okay games. Bruno got much needed rest. He didn't play the last game for Portugal. Shaw had a good game as well, got an assist for England. So all in all, I think it's been a decent international break for our players, and that should fill them with confidence heading into these last stretch of games for us. And really, we need to focus on securing second in the league and going all the way in Europa League. So I feel those are objectives which can be achieved for the season, and that would be a nice end for Ollie.
A nice end for Ollie. Do you what are you implying?
Season.
No, okay, Vin. Okay, Vin.
Yeah.
Mr. LA man over there. Be careful with your words, all right? The end of his second season of a tenure, which will last 40.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm always Ollie in, mate.
Okay. You're giving us a bit of Freudian slips there, if you know what I'm saying. And now all the way to Westminster with Boris Johnson.
Thanks. Cheers.
Yeah. Look, if Mark gets it, you'll get it too. The only person that can't take a slagging is me, and I'm fine with that. Just don't mention Ireland unless you want to see tears. But Stuart, what do you expect? Yeah, are you not drinking the Luxembourg beer anymore?
No, I've got. I'm on a doozy tonight, lads.
Ooh.
Doozy. Yeah. So I bought a load of craft ale to try little samples, and there's loads of them. So this is the doozy. I'm just working my way through it.
He's having a doozy.
This is kind of like. Should we be worried? Stuart's an alcoholic. It's like, I bought lots of different beers and have them around the house, but it's just for tasting, okay? I'm just,
Absolutely.
But Stuart, 2.5 weeks off. A lot of players didn't really get into second gear, as you were saying before. So what are you anticipating from Sunday?
I suspect it'll be a slow, tight game because Brighton are playing pretty well. I know most of our players perhaps played 1 or 2 games over the international break. When England themselves had quite an easy task. Wales, I know Dan James scored. He played pretty well. Donny came on and scored. The thing about Brighton is they're well organised, and for us, particularly at home, a well organised team proves to be quite difficult. Looking at our injuries, I know that Rashford and Greenwood's trained today. I know Martial's out. Lindelof probably won't play. I would go in a consensus and probably bench Rashford. I'd bring Donny in to play alongside Pogba. And I'll probably go Fernandes, Greenwood. And I would imagine Cavani will probably start, which will mean just one holding player. And I would imagine he'll run with Fred on that one. But I think, like the rest of the lads have said, it's a game we need to win. We've got Granada coming up shortly. We should beat Granada home and away. And then, depending on who we get in the semis, the Europa League is our only chance of silverware. So we've just got to take one game at a time. But let's just hope we go in with a positive attitude on Sunday evening, isn't it? Hope we go with a positive attitude. And get the win. But I think it'll be tight. I think we've only ever played Brighton in the Premier League. Is it 7-8 times?
Yeah.
Something like that. We've only ever lost twice to them. But they've, the game earlier on in the season, did we deserve to win? Arguable.
Yes.
Arguable.
No, I'm arguing that we did.
Yeah, I know. And I just think that Graham Potter's one of those managers of quality that kind of goes under the radar. He's not fashionable. He's not a fashionable club. He's not got a fashionable name. But he's doing an excellent job with limited funds and a limited squad. So I think it'll be a tight game. I expect us to win, but I think it'll be a hard game. I think it'll be a tough game on us.
Yeah, sure. I don't know if you remember, I might be throwing in the deep end here, but Darren Potter played for Southampton in the 90s. I think he actually scored against us in the 5-3 loss at the Dell. Do you remember him at all as a player?
I don't. I don't know. I was just trying to think of him as a player, really. I thought he was at Derby as well, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. I'm nearly sure he scored against us in that game, in the 5-3. It was a 5-3 or 5-2 when when we lost at the Dell. Remember we switched to jerseys at half time.
Oh, that was wasn't that 6-1?
Something. No. We definitely scored more than once. If anyone has any thoughts, because I'm just like he's one of those players. I remember whenever.
I know the game we switched to jersey. We started out with grey, didn't we? And then we came out.
Yeah.
So I remember. I can't remember the score, but I can remember the game.
Yeah, it was, what's on the scoreline you want to remember?
He's one of those, isn't he? He's one of those players as well. Actually, he's a manager that floats under the radar. He's a player that did the same.
Yeah, if you look what he did with the Norwegian team he was at, where he took them from the 3rd division to European football, and actually, I think they win at the Emirates. Like they had to play Arsenal over 2 legs, and Arsenal beat them in the first leg. I think they beat them in the second leg then, and then he obviously got the Brighton job from there.
Well, he was Swansea, wasn't
he? Swansea, and then so he's on the rise over the last 5 years. Like
good manager.
Yeah, he'll be Spurs managers next. That'll be a downward spiral for him. But Jeff, coming to you now, my man. What are you expecting from us on Sunday?
I'm not expecting too much because the last time we took off from an international break, we actually just barely won against West Brom, like 1-0. And then that's when we started. Well, that's when we started doing terrible in the Champions League, if I remember correctly. That's last November. So I'm not expecting too much, although it's going to be an interesting story for the goalkeepers. Dea's back, and then Dino has a good run of form, so definitely interesting who's going to start for us. But then again, with the starters, as mentioned in the comments, Rashford, I think, mentioned that he needs to get surgery. So it's interesting to see if he's going to wait it out or he risks missing out on the Euro. So as Stuart said, it's going to be a hard game. Might be like a 1-0 or a 2-1 game. We barely beat them the last time. And with our past performance off the international break. But then again, we got a lot more rest this time. So that's good. We've been shot for the longest time right now. So I'm not expecting too much. Hopefully we get at least a 2-0 win. But realistically, it might be a 2-1. But let's see. With this United squad for the recent years, you don't really know what you're gonna get. It's really good or really, really bad. So I'm just chill and not expecting too much. Yeah.
Mark was disgusted and ran off. Then we have a lovely comment here. We don't usually get lovely comments from rival fans, and we got one here. It's from Lewis Willard. Hello there. Good luck for Sunday. Should be a good game like last time. Up the Albion. And fair play to you, Lewis. Thanks so much for getting into the comments. We usually just get Chelsea fans who are arseholes, or the one Man City fan that they have hops in. So thanks so much, Lewis. I hope you, and if you're still watching, could you comment what you're expecting from the game and how you guys think you'll set up? Because I'd love to hear from a Brighton fan of what you're expecting from this game. And thanks so much, and everyone's been lovely to him too. So thanks, guys, for being lovely to him. So it's all jumbled up again. Yeah, exactly. Because Mark, bye, Mark. What's this, Jacob? Oh, I was born near Whitehawk. Could have been a Brighton supporter, but we moved to Kent when I was a nipper. My nan lives in Hove. He's talking to him, but still, thankfully, Jacob, you're one of ours. You're a bit Irish, and you're fully Manchester United, which is great. So now we have to kind of touch on the fact that Brighton, we have never really. I don't think we've ever really destroyed them. Really, like even when they got promoted, I think we drew with them. We kind of always. I think our first win in Brighton was last year after the lockdown. I think we beat them 3-0 that day when we were on our hot streak of form. But prior to that, it has always been very, very. Lewis, come in. I'm also expecting a close game. My heart goes for us 1-0, but my head goes 1-1. Your head should go 2-1 to us, Lewis. But well, thank you for getting your comments in. And who do you think your first goal scorer would be? And what are your thoughts on Aaron Connolly, the greatest player ever to come from Galway? Yeah, just answer my question about Aaron Connolly first. I want to see what the Brighton fan think of him. Thanks very much. But looking at everything, how much we said we were thinking it'd be a slow game, but how much do you fear Brighton? Are they a team we should fear, or is it a team that we should just annihilate? Andrew, you first. Sorry.
say they are a strong team. I mean, they've had back-to-back wins. They've beaten Newcastle in the last game. So, and they're still, even though they pulled away from the relegation battle, they could easily get sucked in back into the battle between Fulham and Newcastle. So they will be looking to go all out against us and try and nick a point or all 3 points against us. So as I said earlier, the midfield's going to be the key. If we can stop, Basuma from getting on the ball and just feeding those balls into the attackers, then we could really take them on, get on the front foot, and then I think the key will be getting an early goal. If we can get in front early, then we can settle down and then just work the ball around. But if we don't start as well, then Brighton put some pressure on us, then it's like I say, the nerves will kick in, and then and then our defence might get a bit nervous, and then it's a tough one with Brighton. So we just got to be on our guard all the time. So, but I think we've got more than enough quality in our squad just to get through this game and then kick on for the rest of the month.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to welcome a wonderful haircut back into the room. Thanks very much, Mark, for joining us again.
Thank you.
No more dramatic exits, if that's possible.
Well, I'm trying my best, honestly.
We realize that you don't like when the attention isn't always on you. But if you could just stop. Yeah, stop throwing a hissy fit for 2 seconds when we're talking about someone else speaking, okay?
Yeah.
But while you're here, while we have you, we might as well take hold of this situation.
Yeah, you're gonna have to be quick.
Yeah. How much should we fear Brighton, or should we be fearing anyone? Because as we were saying, they're well set up, they're ready to go. But should we? Is this still a game we should be easily winning, or do we win any games easily anymore?
Yeah, we should look. I said this earlier. Brighton are a good team. They're very well drilled, very well organised, got great structure, a great manager, well-run club. As Stu rightly pointed out, and they're just not, the club with the right name, the one that's going to attract the right people, and they don't have the money to spend, but they're a good side. But if I'm honest, and I'd say this about every other team, and this isn't me being a bloody typical United fan, but we are Manchester United. And if we're sitting second and want to keep that second, we should be beating teams like this. And I'm really hoping that coming back from the international break, this will work into our hands. And Ugly Bear's exactly right. We shouldn't fear anybody. We need to bring some of that fearlessness back. And yes, they're a good team. It might not be an easy game, but we should be grinding out these results. And I am fairly confident tomorrow. I really feel that we will get a result. I really do.
Yeah. Lewis come in, focus on my Irish boys. Connolly has a lot of potential, so does Malumbi. Absolutely, another one of our low knees with potential. Malumbi is great. He made his debut during the week, and he is actually on loan at Preston, but he's not playing, unfortunately. So, but I'm glad that they're highly rated, because we rate them very highly too. But Lewis, just before, I hope if you're still watching, could you tell us where you feel Brighton's weak points are, where we could really capitalize on. Ollie watches the channel specifically for these sort of things, so if you could give us any ins and outs that you have at Brighton, please let us know where you're fearing from us and where you feel the weaknesses in your side. But we got to you already, Andrew. We're going to go Vin in LA with the wonderful haircut.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah. What are you worried about Brighton whatsoever? Are we giving them too much credit? Is this a game that we should be winning easily?
No, I don't think we should be fearing them a lot. Yes, they're a good side. They've been tricky. They're a tricky side. Potter's a good manager, no doubt. And we've played them 9 times in the past 3 years, and we've only kept 4 clean sheets. So they seem to be scoring a goal at least once whenever they play against us. So it's going to be a tricky game, no doubt. But at the same time, they're sort of closer to the relegation zone. Their confidence is sort of, you could say, not at its best, even though their last 2 games have been good. So given where we are in the league, second in the league, given the players that we have, we should be able to beat them. But at the same time, we can't underestimate them at all. if the recent results are to go by. So yeah, we should be beating them, but it's going to be a tight game.
Okay, that's fair. Sorry, I have to get off, it's Lewis is back in. Thanks so much for being a great commenter, Lewis, by the way. Louis. Weak point are defending set pieces and our lack of taking goal scoring opportunities. Jesus, you sound like Man United.
There you go. Exactly.
Yeah, this is going to be a 6-all draw or like the most boring 0-all possible. But like in saying that, from what Lewis is saying, that they're set pieces and, well, we can't focus on their goal scoring opportunities. But do you think that is something that we can, do we have anything we can to take advantage of there with our set pieces, or are we looking to more score from open play, Stuart? What do you think?
Well, set pieces, we're woeful, aren't we, on both ends?
Yeah.
We really are bad. We would have to watch Lewis Dunk. For sure, because I think he's scored a couple of goals, hasn't he, in the last 4 or 5 matches for Brighton from set pieces. They play 3 at the back, so we're going to have to attack him from the width, really, rather than through the middle. It'll be interesting to see the 11 that he does play. I'm not a fan of the 4-3-3, as you well know, but I think on Sunday it's probably a wise option to try and get behind them. I don't think they're particularly good. Their wing backs aren't the best. On the flanks, not the greatest defenders, but they're quite dangerous in and around the number 10 position. Trossard, I think it is. He's popped up with a couple of goals. He's, I'm not too fussed about Mopé. Basuma, as Andrew pointed out, we need to try and nullify his game, get on top of Lallana if he plays. So I think our midfield 3, whoever Solskjaer decides to go, will be quite pivotal, which is why I think it'll be ideal for Donny van de Beek, because I think there'll be a bit of space in the middle, and we'll be able to. He should be able to create alongside Pogba. So my worry is set pieces and Lewis Dunk, really. As regards to fearing the side, which no footballer should fear any match. You should be going into it with relish. You should relish every time you take the pitch. You should want to have that game of your life. It doesn't matter who you play. You just you should want to have that game of your life every time you step onto the field, especially when you're representing our club. Listening to the guys again, second time round, I'm still with the fact I think it'll be a very, very tight game. I do think we'll get over the line. I do. But Ollie's got a big kind of month ahead of him, because I think we've got Granada, Thursday, and then we've got Tottenham, haven't we? At the weekend away. And we owe Mourinho a good hiding. So Sunday's really got to be seen as the springboard to go on and finish the season on a high. Yeah,
I think so as well. I think we're all mixed up again. He's officially thrown in the towel there. He's
thrown in the towel, is it?
Yeah, you can't take it. I agree with everything you're saying there, Stuart. I think we need to set a marker. I think we do tend to play well after we've had a break. Like the COVID situation saved Ollie's job, because I don't think we're going to get top 4 if we didn't have that break and everyone getting to play with each other again and all like that. And there he is. Sorry guys, my internet is being an absolute fucknut and having a doozy like Stu's drink. Fair play. We have to go. Yeah, but I agree with Stuart that I think we really need to make a statement. I think we will, to be fair. I actually do think we will. Because, like I was saying, we do tend to play well after we've had that break, when all the lads and they've all had good international breaks. Bruno didn't score somehow, but other than that, everyone's playing well. So I'm looking forward to us getting back in. But Jeff, finish out on this question of should we fear Brighton? Should we not? Is this a guaranteed 3 points?
I think that's the luxury you have as a football fan nowadays. You get to fear for the team, but not really fear. It's more of a concern because, as Andrew said, they're a tricky side. If you're a football player, you shouldn't be scared. But as a football fan, of course, there's always that United doing weird against tricky sides. You're never gonna know what you're gonna get. So it really depends on what kind of energy we have at the start of the game. As I think Andrew also mentioned that we have to score early, and I agree. Because if we don't, then they have the capability to control the tempo. I mean, remember, this team could beat Liverpool. I mean, they're not that good. this season, but still, that's for something, right? So, not really fear. More of you have to stamp your authority throughout the game, and I'm curious of what kind of formation we're gonna get out of. Because of Marshall's out, Rashford's, I don't know if he's gonna start. So, are we going with the diamond? Maybe, but we're not really sure. So, we just have to get off the blocks and score early, and then get some more goal. I mean, that's the the most insightful football analysis they're gonna get. So,
yeah, that's fair. That's pretty insightful. And speaking of insightful, this is one I've never gotten before. Joe, you strangely look like Potter. Is that? Oh, Graham Potter. I thought he meant Harry Potter. I thought he meant Harry Potter. I have to Google that.
That would be Andrew, I think.
Yeah, I believe in my mind, I believe him to be a handsome man, and my ego is gonna say the same thing, that he is a handsome man. But like, I think there's a lot of people commenting I saw on Ben White, which of course is kind of the outstanding young player aside from Jason Malumbi and Aaron Connolly in the Brighton team, and one that seemingly we are linked to heavily, but also not us, but seemingly all the top teams in England. We'd like to think that coming to Old Trafford is an audition for a chance to play for us. Are you going to have an extra close eye on him on Sunday? We'll go to you, Andrew, first. You kind of don't want to see him have a good game. And you're muted.
I say ideally we don't want him to have a good game, because that could be Brighton's advantage. But I say I haven't seen much of Ben White this season. I know he did previously play for Leeds as well. So it'd be interesting to see how he does play and whether he could be somebody we did look at in the summer. But it's, I say, from what I've some quick stats I've looked about him, he said his average is like 1.6 tackles and 2.5 interceptions per game. So you say he could be a good player for us, but I'll make my judgment on Sunday when I see him play.
Yeah, that's fair. Jeff, coming to you now. Are you anticipating seeing Ben White and trying anyone else? And by the way, Louis, I actually looked up Ben Potter there, and yeah, it is a little bit. I prefer a little bit. I'm gonna say a little bit. Okay, I'd like to think I'm a bit more attractive, but I get where you're coming from, and I don't like it. Jeff, coming to you now. We're looking at Ben White. Obviously, is there anyone else that your eyes are on for this game on Sunday, or is that you think would fit into our squad?
Well, I think we were connected to Bissouma for a while, right? Before, so I'm not sure if he's been playing regularly, but yeah, that's if he plays, then that might be an addition for him, and we'll get to find out if he was worth the hassle during the last transfer window. So aside him and of course Ben White, but then again, we don't really need a Ben White type, I guess. For me, if we were to look for someone and someone auditioning for us, it would be on the defensive midfield. And Bissouma's too young, I guess, but I'd like to see what he can offer against a side like us, and that's a really big need for us. So that's who I'm watching out for with Brighton.
Cool. Thanks, Jeff. And Hannah, I'm going to murder you, and you're hearing it live first. Of course, Joe taught Harry Potter. It's the British in him. I will kill you. I will kill you stone dead. I did a 23andMe, okay? I am 86% Celt, okay? And the rest is Spanish and Eastern European. So I don't need this from you, okay? And I'm a little bit English too, like 2%. And then, and I see you, Fred. I see you, Mr. Woodward, chiming in. And Louis, thanks so much for being a really good sport. Here's his lineup. Sanchez, Sanchez, great goalkeeper. Dunk, Ben White, Veltman, Bissouma, Moder, Lallana, Trossand, Maupay, Welbeck, and Jansbach. Oh, that'd be interesting. And while we have you here, Louis, if you're still watching, who could you see fitting from your team? I know you'll probably want to tell me to F off, But who do you see from your team fitting into our team successfully? Would it be Ben White, Basuma, Maupe, even who's been on Trossand? Who would you think is going to be the most sought after player? If that's an easier question you want to answer, the most sought after player from your squad in the transfer window, the one you're most worried about losing. Vin, coming to you now on a similar question to that, and I was saying to the guys, who from this Brighton team has kind of impressed you that you feel would fit into the Man United squad?
Obviously Ben White has been doing the talks recently as one of the targets for United, but also Liverpool are eyeing on him as well. But for me, the player who's impressed the most, I think, has been Trossard. Really, I think he's had an excellent season, and had it not been for Dan James, he would have been like a backup left wing target that I would have considered just as a backup to Rashford. He's had a pretty good record. I think he's got 4 goals and 5 assists this season. So he's someone whom I would consider. Basuma as well as another target. Obviously, we are looking for a holding midfielder. So he's someone, although my first target would be Declan Rice. And Joe, I know you're not going to but he's my number 1 choice for the defensive midfielder role. Basuma is another one. He's the cheaper alternative if you're looking within the Premier League. So he's someone whom I'm going to be looking out for tomorrow. And Ben White as well, since we're linked to him. But yeah, those 3 would be the players that have impressed me.
Oh, fair. Louis coming in with now. Basuma is our best player with Champions League quality. I expect a 40 million bid for him. That's fair. Thanks for being a great sport as well, Louis. It's greatly appreciated. And Hannah, you might be, 5'9", 210 pounds. I'm 6'4", and I'm nimble, baby. Okay. I've got fists of steel. Steel's a fist, whatever the saying is. Cool, Stu, coming to you on the same question. Yes, you got it right. 1, Jamie. From the squad, is it Basuma, who Louis is pointing out to us, or is it a Ben White? Who do you think who are you most impressed by, and who do you think would suit our team the best?
Yeah, I definitely rate Basuma. I quite like his game. He's kind of all action. He can get you the odd 1 or 2 goals. Ben White's been talked about. I think he's probably played the most consistently for Brighton this year. But the one that stands out for me is Lewis Dunk. I thought he's had an exceptional season. He scored 4 goals. He's a good defender. He's been talked about for a while, really, Lewis Dunk, but nobody's taken the punt on him for some reason. It fit quite nicely into a Wolves or a Southampton or a West Ham or someone like that. He's quite mobile. He's good in the air. So I do quite like him. I take Vin's point about Trossard. I think I mentioned him earlier. Would I have Trossard in the side? Probably not. I would take Dunk because I think he's very similar to Connor Cody, and I quite like Connor Cody.
Yes,
they're just no nonsense defenders. The problem with a lot of players today and a lot of fans, they like posers. They love posers on a football field, and I kind of buy posers. You want players who in a position for the right reasons. Lewis Dunk is there for the right reasons. Ben White, to be fair to him, is there for the right reasons. But when you get somebody like Cancelo at City, he's just a fucking poser. I'm not interested in players like that. And that's why Brighton players kind of just go under the radar, because fans don't appreciate what a footballer's about sometimes. And Brighton have got some really good, talented footballers. So for me, Lewis Dunk's probably stood out for me. But I agree with the rest of the lads with Basuma and White. And I'll give a nod to Trossard,
Yeah, that's fair. And Hannah has come in with my brother is 6'4", not worried. Yeah, my brother is 6'4" too, but he's actually scrawnier than me. So I think the Hamads might have me on this one. Louis, I'm sick of this Irish sentiment. These anti-Irish sentiments coming through. Shane Duffy is our basically the country's all-time goal scorer, and you will put respect on his name, please. Okay, before we finish up, guys, if anyone has any questions, we might do a Q&A afterwards. If getting good questions, we're going to do our squad now and what we expect from the team on Sundays. But if you guys have any questions, anything from the history United, future United, the present United, throw it in. We'll have a little laugh with it. But if ideally, if you can. But so Andrew, starting with you. Well, I suppose De Gea or Henderson. Who are we going to go with? So I think I won't focus in on anyone, but just go one by one. Are you going with Henderson or De Gea? Andrew?
I just think Ollie will choose De Gea. I think he'll keep De Gea in for the league games and Henderson for the Europa League games, but the race is on between them both for that number one position now. So it'll be interesting to see who Ollie chooses in the end when the season's settled. Okay,
for you, Jeff?
Personally, I'd like to see Dino, but knowing Ollie, he might go with De Gea. Though it was pointed out in the comments that De Gea might take over the Europa League game so that he gets a medal. That's what I read, but he might switch it around for a while. So yeah, I hope it's Dino. Yeah.
Yep. Vin, for yourself?
Well, I'd like to see Henderson in the Cup, in the Europa League, and Dean in the Premier League, simply because we win this game against Brighton and Spurs, second spot 3 months secured, and the Europa League is what we really want to go all out for. So I'd rather have Henderson for that between the six. I'd feel much more comfortable seeing him instead of David De Gea. Just give Henderson a couple of appearances in the league, but definitely start him in the Europa League through and through. So Dean for me in the league.
And Shu, for you?
De Gea, he'll play him. Andrew's right. So. He'll play him. Yeah,
I agree. I think I would prefer if it was Henderson, but I think it will be De Gea. And Louis come in Henderson, and Louis put his vote in for Henderson anyway. So we'll say the group has now said Henderson since we have a Brighton fan saying that. Okay, I'm not going to bother asking right, left back. That's Wan-Bissaka. That's Luke Shaw. Fair, yeah. And then alongside Harry Maguire, Andrew, who are you going for?
I'm going to go with Eric Bailly. I just think Lindelof, he's still got that back injury, so he can't be playing like 2 or 3 games like a week. So I just think give Bailly his chance. And when he's played alongside Maguire, they look so assured together. Bailly will bring the ball out and just get United on the move. So I think Ollie will go. I think he might go for Bailly over Lindelof.
Okay, fair. Jeff, for you?
Same for me, just because I think with Lindelof managing that back injury, he might be more suited for the slower Europa League games. So he might take a rest and Eric starts for a while.
Okay. Vin, for yourself?
Yeah, I think it's going to be Bailly for me as well. Simply because I think Lindelof didn't train. He didn't he showed up for training, but didn't really have an intense session. So for that reason, I think it's better to sort of rest him for this one, play him against Granada, and then go on about see how he sort of shapes up. So Bailly for me on Sunday.
Perfect. Stuart, for yourself?
Bailly all day long. I can't see Lindelof playing. I know we left Sweden for personal reasons. We don't know what those are, but he'll play Bailly. He's been doing some moaning as well, Bailly, in the press recently. I think he'll play Bailly. So.
Yeah, I think so as well. And then obviously it's going to be Pogba and Bruno in midfield. So who is our third man in there? Andrew, who are you going to go for?
I'll say I'm going to go with McTominay. I just think he'll just get the nod over Fred. I mean, Fred, the game against Leicester, he just didn't have a good game. He literally made a few mistakes and was holding his hands up, apologising, but you can't be doing that. And I mean, if he starts making more mistakes, that could end up costing us points in the remaining games in the league. So I think he'll just give the nod to McTominay, and I think him and Pogba can work well together in that pivot.
Jeff, for yourself?
I prefer McTominay, but it might be Fred starting just because if we need to get more defensive to the later stages of the game, McTominay kind of is more effective off the bench better than Fred. So he might start off with Fred, and then if we need to get that McFred pairing to defend the lead or whatnot, then McTominay is available to come in. So
cool. Then for yourself?
I'm going to go with Fred because McTominay played all 3 games for Scotland, full 90 minutes each. So I think he would I think Ole would sort of rest him, set this one out, play him against Granada and then Spurs. So Fred for me in the midfield with Pogba.
Perfect. Stu, for you?
None of them. I wouldn't have Fred, Matic or McTominay anywhere near the fucking squad. None of them.
Ideally, that would be the answer.
Yeah, interesting. You're playing with 10 men.
Yeah. Well, we do. That's the problem. That is the issue.
I know. I wouldn't say that. I
that.
know. Not with McTominay. I'm with McTominay.
He'll start Fred, won't he? You know, I agree with Andrew. I think McTominay's a better shout. But I would play. I wouldn't put Bruno in my midfield three anyway for this game. He'd be in my front three. So I'd have Van der Beek in there as well. I think actually, to be fair, Van der Beek, Pogba, and McTominay would be quite a good midfield three for us. Okay. It would add a bit of steel and a bit of creativity. So I think it'll be Fred.
And then we go across the front three. Rashford on the left, I think, is across the board. We agree with.
Yeah, he might be injured though, right?
I don't think he'll start.
I don't think he'll start.
Okay,
Dan James.
Dan James on the left.
On the left, yeah.
Dan James will play.
Greenwood on the right.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Cavani.
I'd have Bruno like a false nine, like Stu. What Stu mentioned, he can be a false nine.
We're not going for Stuart's crazy formation that he's always
likes my formation.
Yeah, he pitches the same formation.
You know, it's like a fake diamond. So
yeah, it is a Bob-on formation.
Yeah.
So Griezmann on the right and then Cavani up front.
Yep.
If he's fit, Fred literally just asked if he's fit.
If he still wants to play.
I think he is. I think he's fit. Ollie hasn't said anything as presser that he's injured or something. So I'm assuming he's going to be starting.
Yeah. Thanks so much, guys. We've got a couple of really good questions in. I'm really sorry. There's one specific one which I'm not going to answer because the person who asked the question is called the special one. I will not promote Jose Mourinho on this channel whatsoever. You have him as your cover photo and it confuses me if you're a Man United fan. So I'm not doing it. But thank you for watching and we appreciate the view. We're gonna go up. We got a really lovely. We got two here. One from John and one from Jamie. Jamie asked a very interesting question, which is not if Ollie should get a contract or not, but how long should Ollie's contract be? So we'll go across the board. Andrew, how long should it be?
It's a very good question. It's reported it's going to be a 3-year contract, but I'd give him like a 2-year contract and then with the option to extend another year. Let's see how we can see the progression's been made in the team. Let's just see over the course of the next couple of years where he's going to take this team and then assess at the end of that. And if it's going well, we've won trophies, then extend it even further. So just over the time, the course he's been at United, he deserves to have that contract for. He's come in, he's settled the team down. I mean, that team was like not in the best shape when he arrived. The players were miserable. And so he's made United a more happier place. So just need to see him kick on with the team now.
Yeah, absolutely. Vin, for yourself. Oh, sorry, not Vin. What's your name? Jeff. Sorry, Jeff. Jesus Christ.
Who's Nicker, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Andrew. That's a good structure, like 2+1, and then let's see if we can extend it after the second year. Then again, we'd have to see how ownership supports him. Because with the type of Ole's management style and his skill level, it's really dependent on the players and the squad that he has. Unlike some managers who can just really pull whatever they have and just overachieve. So yeah, it's a 2+1, but hopefully we get a transfer market backing.
Yes, Vin, for yourself.
Yeah, I think 2+1 seems like a fair deal. How long was Mourinho given the extension? 18 months before? Was it like a 3-year new contract that he was given?
Yeah.
Something like that, right? Yeah. So, I mean, again, I think 2+1 makes sense, but then it also depends on how the board backs him in the transfer windows. Obviously, he's done a pretty good job so far in sort of kicking out the deadwood and sort of rebuilding the side. There's still a lot more work to be done. Of course, there's doubts over whether Pogba stays or leaves, and with Cavani and a lot of other targets to sort of pursue. So it's going to be interesting how they sort of plan it out over the next couple of years. But yeah, 2+1 for me.
Yeah. And Stu, if it see us out?
Yeah, I'd give him 3. I'd go and do it. You've got to show some kind of support and willingness to support your manager. We have been a continuation of turnover for the last 7 or 8 years, and it just doesn't work for us. I'm not saying that the boards aren't culpable for that, because they are. But the more and more you change managers, the more and more you hemorrhage money. And that's what's going to happen. We just keep hemorrhaging money. So sometimes you just got to know your colours to the mast. Now, look, I'm not saying Ollie can get us to the promised land again. But I think when you look at Moyes, Van Gaal and Mourinho, he's settled a sinking ship. And pretty much we were at submarine level. We were at the bottom of the ocean. Yeah. And it somehow he's managed to claw us back. The way that the finances of the club are run, top four is enough for us. We can sustain everything that the club goes with top four. Now, I don't like top four. I've said it before and I'll say it again. When you start the season, your ambition is to win the league, period. If you finish second, third or fourth, it's a failure. It just is. Yeah. But why keep changing the manager? And the question is, who out there is going to be good enough to take us to that next level? Yeah. There just isn't anyone that springs to mind. People will talk about Nagelsmann. They were banging on about Pochettino. He hasn't
got Allegri.
And Allegri's decent, but we haven't seen Allegri for 3 years. Yeah.
People would hate Allegri. Allegri plays the worst football ever. It's successful, but like it's just modern day Mourinho.
Yeah, but nobody's taken the punt on Allegri for 3 years.
Exactly, because he's too expensive. He's too expensive. That's why.
There's a multitude of reasons for it. So it's a good shot, Allegri, but nobody's taken the punt on him. Pochettino's not pulling it penny trees at PSG. Yeah. I can manage PSG. Okay. So my overall thoughts are: give him 3 years, give him security. Although he's a multi-millionaire, I don't mean it by that, but I mean it in footballing terms. Give him security. Go and back Murto and Fletcher and let them build something. Yeah, and just see how it goes in 3 years, and then we'll go from there. But
I completely
no ugly bear, no chance.
Yeah,
someone just said no way, no. What?
I mean, I like ugly bear, but that's not a great shout.
Oh, that's a terrible shout, ugly bear. That is a terrible shout. Jesus Christ, ugly bear. We had respect for you. Lewis Simon, a lovely comment. I think he paid a $5. I'm not sure. Thank you all for your comments. 10 years ago, if you had told me that I would be in the Premier League with United fans talking about us, I thought you'd be lying. Well, it's great to have you in the Premier League. You're a great club. We've got a last comment. And if you have a question, Lewis, throw one in as well, actually. But unless Louis asked one, this is our last question. And no one's allowed to answer it with the same sign. Okay? So John Kermode, and Stu, you're last. So you're going to
cheers. Thanks.
Q&A, aside from the 1988 to 1999 season, treble winning season, what was your favourite ever United season? Andrew, starting with you, finishing with Stuart, but no one can say the same one twice. Andrew, what's your favourite?
It's a tough one. I'm between two here. I'll have to go the 07-08 where we won the league and the Champions League. Just that season was just like, say, probably our second best after the 98-99, just winning the Champions League in that fashion against Chelsea, and then wrestling the league back after not winning it for the previous 3 years. So I'd have to say the 07-08 season.
Okay. Interesting. Well, Louis, that's a great question. We will finish on that one. Thank you very much. Jeff, for yourself, aside from 07-08 now and 98-99, what's your favorite season?
Andrew got my first answer, so I'm going with the 2012-2013 season, the Robin Van Persie season.
Yes.
Just because, well, one, I had most of the games available on cable locally, and two, Robin Van Persie was phenomenal in getting us that league title back. Saw that free kick against City, and that was crazy, making that like injury time, if I'm not mistaken. So that's my third favorite from 98-99 and then 07-08.
Perfect. Vin, go to you. Pick one from the 90s because then Chew might be a bit fucked.
My top two favorites are gone now. So, wow, it's a tough one, but I think I'm going to go with the 92-93 season.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. Won the league, 84 points, and the league drought ended that season. So it's a special one for the club. Obviously, you saw the emergence of Ryan Giggs, and the class of 92 emerged really from then on. So that's the one. For me, ideally, it would be the treble winning and then the 07-08 and then the 1993.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. And I'm going to go next before Stu gets to go. I'm going to say the year 2000, 2001, where we were the first team ever to win a Premier League for the third time in a row, back to back. And we also did it with a then record number. I think we won the league when we were on 91 points. We were 18 points ahead of second place. A season which no one ever talks about for whatever reason. I always remember beating West Ham 7-1 and Scholes scoring, I think, his first ever hat-trick. I think in the same year, Bradford, he scored that goal against Bradford as well. But no one talked about that season. I can never understand why. And it's so much happened, and we absolutely trumped the league. It was amazing. So, Stuart, you've got about 2 years left.
Yeah, well, I'm absolutely fucked, aren't I? Because I was going to go for 92, 93, actually, because that would have been my first league title.
Yeah.
So my favourite was 1977, because that's the first time I saw Man United live.
Boo!
So that's my favourite was 1977.
Who won the FA Cup that year? We didn't win it. We 7 and 9.
We did 2-1.
We did, Southampton, was it, or Arsenal?
No, we lost in 79 to Arsenal 3-2. We lost in 76 to
Southampton.
And I think we beat Liverpool 2-1 in 77.
That's right. We did beat Liverpool. And that's not them winning the treble. That's a great year. That's a great year, Stuart.
It's a great year anyway, because I was at Wolves. I went to watch Wolves. And Wolves were playing well then. So, yeah.
Yeah.
That's my first.
And to see us out with a question from a Brighton fan. I don't know what the Seagulls. Yeah, that's right. It's a great question, actually.
Fred.
Yeah. Do you feel the glory days of your club are returning? That's a great question, Louis. Thanks so much. Andrew, going to you first. Andrew.
So
I think he's thinking.
I think we're on the way. We're on the. I was going to say we're on the way there. I believe. I just think say Ollie's coming, as Stuart said. If the sinking ship is now starting to rise up, and hopefully Ollie can carry on steering us in the right direction. Hopefully we can now, once this get this season over and we'll hopefully finish second and hopefully try and win the Europa League, then we can just kick on even further. And then obviously the aim too is win the Premier League again. So I'll say for Ollie, he's just got to be backed in the summer with the right amount of money, with the right players as well. And then if we then can kick on, and then hopefully the glory days can come back, and it will be even more special considering the drought we've been having recently.
Absolutely. For you, Jeff?
We might be at a very early stage of returning. Because you're right. Ollie just got the sinking ship plugged, that the hole's plugged, but now it's really time to set the sail and get going. So that is, that part, a big part of it is out of his hands. Like, he can just hand in his transfer wish list, but who we're gonna get, when we're gonna get them, it's really out of his control now. So hopefully it is indeed the start of us going back to those glory days, but there's a lot of factors coming in. So I'm optimistic, but not too optimistic, because with this ownership on board, it's hard to be optimistic. Even with the Buccaneers, that's their favorite franchise, if I'm not mistaken, and it took a while, like 20 years before they won another championship. So that's my wishful thing, that we're in the first stages second stage of going back to the glory days.
Cool. For you, Vin?
Yeah, I think we can still get there. We're on the way. Still got a lot of work to do. Like everyone said, the sinking ship has sort of been stabilized. We're trying to plug holes in the best way possible, but now I think it's really time to take the next step and back the manager, get his targets, get his first choice targets, by the way, not second, third, or fourth choice. Get his first choice targets, and then watch him develop and evolve his team. Now, I mean, with the Buccaneers, all they need was two marquee players, and that got them the Super Bowl, that got them the title. So It could be a case of just getting 2 to 3 top first-class, first-choice players, and we could see a completely different side. Can Ole win the Premier League for us? He can, provided he gets backed properly and he gets his players. So we can get the glory days. It's going to be a process, something which our fan base really needs to understand. That process, project, these are words and patience. These are 3 words which somehow our fan base doesn't seem to understand. And the more they understand, the better it is for all of us.
Absolutely. As Vince said, we're definitely win the league. Guaranteed. He's putting what's left of his hair on it. I don't know why hair has become a big thing for me now, but we'll finish off for Stuart. Sorry, actually, we got a beautiful comment here from Louis to see us out. Thank you once again. Best of luck Sunday. Wishing health and happiness to you all from the South Coast. I'll tune in Sunday if you're post-match reviewing. We absolutely are, Louis, and please, we will be delighted to have you in the comments. Kartik will be hosting that one. I don't know if anyone here is on the show, but it'd be great to have you in the comments. And hopefully you'll be commiserating with us when we win 3-0. But if we are to lose or drop points, we'll be happy for you, if not anyone else. So but it won't happen. But Stuart, come to you now to see us out. Are the good times coming?
Yeah, I've always thought glory days are subjective anyway. I mean, football evolves constantly. We were brilliant through the 90s and 2000s, and we were woeful through, the 80s. So the glory days for me, when I can step back into Old Trafford through my normal entrance, M41, and I'll be happy.
Yeah, that's a fairly nice answer. I'll accept it. I thought we were going to get a rant, but that's fine.
The thing is that, and I'll choose my words carefully here because I'm a lot older and I've supported United for a long time. But the younger fans have been spoiled. That's what they call it the glory years. But if you look back at our history, ever since we first started as Newton Heath, it's all been glorious. But with every football team, you get ups and downs. Look at City at the minute. City were nothing, absolutely nothing until 2008. That's just the way football is. So that's why I say it's subjective.
Well, sure, they can't have won anything prior to 2008. They're only created then.
No, that's right. Well, we know that, but
we take the piss out of them. But the corporation was only built in 2008, so it was only possible for them to win anything prior to that because they didn't exist.
It's quite embarrassing when Aguero's our leading scorer.
By the way,
the success is where it is.
Yeah, guys, let's be honest. Them getting those 3 guys getting a statue is embarrassing. Let's be honest. Like I was saying,
is that serious? I thought it was a joke, but
no. If you look at it from their point of view, there haven't been any City legends in the past. So
there has been.
That
is absolute bullshit.
Yeah, Colin Bell.
Was
a City legend.
Yeah.
Our own. I hate to say, our own Dennis Law.
Relegated us. Yeah,
he was a legend at City. And this is the problem. This is
Mike Summerby.
Yeah, Mike Summerby. Yeah, I mean Franny Lee.
Franny Lee.
Casper Schmeichel as well.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I don't know about Casper.
Okay.
But you have to bear something in mind when you look at clubs and the glory days. I think we've got 3 players that scored over 200 goals for our club. There's not many clubs that can boast that. At all.
Absolutely.
And so that's why I say it's subjective. That's all.
Yeah, but still, as you were saying, Stuart, City. And speaking of this, Stuart, I knew this would be what we'll see now. Speaking of sinking ships, an iceberg sunk Titanic, Luxembourg sunk the entire country. Thank you and good night. And on that bombshell, good night.
Good night.
Yeah, that's the best way to finish it. Thank you for showing up last second to mic drop, Stuart. It's greatly appreciated. But guys, thanks so much around the world, wherever you're watching. Always appreciate it. Thanks, Louis, for being a great Brighton fan in the comment. Thanks, Stuart O'Hara, for having a wonderful last-second comment to come in. And thanks for you all that have been commenting throughout the night. Please share this video around. Please like the video. Please get as many eyes on as possible. And please make sure to follow these 4 gentlemen, and we'll all greatly appreciate it. So next time you'll be seeing us is, I don't know if any of the lads are there. I won't be there anyway on Sunday for the post-match reaction. So hopefully you'll be on Sunday. So be there for Stuart. And hopefully Louis will be in the comments again. But until then, have a great weekend. Have the crack, and we will see you. I never, ever queue up my exit. We'll see you then. 3 points are coming.
See you guys.
Bye.